Hello and welcome to episode 17 of series 3 of Become a Legend Story Mode. Now I did say in this episode we're going to start to take a little bit more of a look at maybe the city of Eindhoven, at maybe PSV as a club, maybe Eggy's life in Eindhoven, how that's going to work out for him. Well, I haven't had time. Simply haven't had time. And actually, similarly, I haven't had time to respond to any of your comments on recent episodes. I'm sorry about that. Normally I love to, and there have been some great ones as well at a very controversial time for Eggy and for this series. But technically, this week I am on holiday. Yes, it's a staycation. Google that if you don't know what it is. It's basically a holiday for poor people. But I've been getting out and enjoying the great weather, spending time with my family. So I'm sorry. I do have time to record this episode, but not much more. The research has been poor. But one thing I have learnt about PSV, literally the first thing you can read on Wikipedia, that's how much detail I've gone into, is that they have a couple of nicknames. One of them being the peasants or the farmers, which is odd, considering they're essentially the factory team for Philips, the huge multinational company that make a load of different stuff. But another nickname for them is the Red and White, which is perfect for Eggy as it's also the nickname of his country's international side. And Eggy has been continuing to play in the AFC Under-19 tournament for the Indonesian Under-19s, and things have gone pretty well today actually. Today being Wednesday, when they played their last game, they went up against the United Arab Emirates, and they managed to sneak somehow a 1-0 win. Eggy got injured, took a nasty, what looked to be a really nasty injury. Soldiered on for a bit, but actually had to go off, I think, somewhere in the sort of 70th minute. But most amazingly, Indonesia managed to keep a goal advantage despite having a man sent off just after half-time. They scrapped away, they really did. They're an interesting team to watch. Obviously, it's an under-19 team, but I don't know how much they're going to grow. It's not meant to be any sort of diss to the Indonesian population, but it's a very short country. Very short country, but very quick. Wow, are they quick. Lots of very speedy players. And what I liked about watching Eggy, actually, is he's got a little bit of bite to him. He won't be pushed around. He'll put a shoulder in. He's got a little fiery side to him, which I like. Obviously, he's the captain representing his country. So, yeah, he had a bit to prove today. So it was a great performance for them. And they're going into the quarterfinals now. Really looking forward to that. But anyway, let's get back to this reality. We've got potentially a few games to play today. I doubt Eggy will be starting many of them. We've got Zwolle. I think we are starting. The first game is against Zwolle. Then Excelsior and Club Brugge again in the Champions League. Obviously, we're on the back of a 2-game winless run. Eggy, though, doing pretty well. An assist against Real Madrid on his debut. And then a goal against AZ Alkmaar, which unfortunately we then chucked away by giving the ball away, leading to a goal. But we'll ignore that happened. And we'll be excited to find again that Eggy is starting. Oh, actually, before we get any further, let's go back. Was it too late to request a number? Yeah, it's too late. We should have done that transfer window. So sorry to everyone who mentioned that. No numbers for him, for all you number fetishists. And let's have another look here. Yes, Eggy on a sideways arrow, not great. The big man, De Jong, ahead of him. Irving Lozano to the left, who just made an absolute fool of Toby Alderweireld in his Champions League game against Spurs for PSV. Nicked the ball off him, finished well, made him look like a bit of an idiot, which was hard to watch, I have to say. Didn't enjoy that at all. Got Pereira to our right. Big Rog and Maxi Romero on the bench, as is Ramselaar, who will feel aggrieved not to be starting today, considering he is on a green arrow and he's not that tired. And Mara Jr. on the bench as well. Well, we're being given a chance by Hermans, there's no doubt about it. We deserve it. Can we continue the good form? Well, that's going to be a real test. Up against Zwolle today, a lot of 60 rated players in there. I like the look of that. Let's get into it. Powerful pass into Eggy there. It's going to go into De Jong, looking for the hold up here. One more ball into the box, could find Eggy. Oh, he's just slipped offside. Just needed that a little bit earlier. Oh, it's a good run though. And actually, the player did look to make the pass pretty swiftly. Eggy just beaten by the offside trap. Positive stuff though. He's making those runs. Eggy wants to feet. Lovely layoff round the corner into Irving Lozano. Can he use his pace now? De Jong will play it into Eggy. Chips it over the top, looking for the big striker. Lovely first touch. Can he get it under control? No, he goes all the way back out. What's the plan there? What was the plan? Ball into Eggy again. Oh, he's caught in possession. That's unfortunate. It was a great ball in. Oh, that's a mistake. Ah, no foul. Eggy into the path of Lozano. Goes early into De Jong. That's a lovely ball out to Pereira. Eggy busting a nut to get in. Busting a nut? That's not what I meant to say. Eggy wants it short here. Turns. Floats the ball in. De Jong's there with the header. That's a great ball in. Despite busting a nut to get there. Let's forget I ever said that, shall I? Why did I repeat that? Anyway, Eggy looking really, really quality again. You can see why Hermans has given him another start. Dug out that cross right onto the forehead of De Jong and the number 9. Second chance on a plate, you could say, from Eggy. Couldn't convert, though. Where's Big Rog? Oh, Pereira beats his man really well. Eggy has found a bit of space here, and that's straight into him. Oh, couldn't get it away. That was a great ball in as well. Fuck. And there we are, half-time. Well, I think the home side will be slightly happy with this. I'm pretty sure we were, yep, very, very poor possession. 41% possession, that's not good enough from a possession side. Pretty sure we should have had at least 2 shots on target. And it was Eggy who created both of the big chances for PSV. Both for the big number 9 De Jong. The cross into him was lovely. He couldn't get that down. Chip ball over the top. Should have been finished as well. Eggy looking good again. He hasn't had any shooting opportunities yet. This is turning into a pretty tough game. Wasn't expecting this. We need to improve in the second half. Come on. It's poor. De Jong. Eggy's gone straight over the top into him. And he's got the power to get ahead of Van der Berg. Eggy trying to get into the box. He has finally made it in. Could get to this hit. Oh, should have finished that. Really should have finished that. Wasn't sure if it was going to come through to him. Did really well to streak into the box after finding the ball over the top into De Jong. Hold up play shouldn't be an issue for him. He's a big lad, and that's a great run from Eggy. Oh, he's gone to the right of the keeper. Left hand was all the space. Pereiro now. Plays it back. That's a lovely ball down the line. Into Pereiro. De Jong. Ah, just stepped offside there. Damn it. Thought De Jong might go into his first time. Played it back, and by the time it had got to the player, we were a country mile offside. Paul slipped down this left-hand side. A lot of space there. Pereiro doesn't seem to be bothered about tracking him. Ball into Van Cruz. Cuts it back. Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And we go behind here. That is not good enough. What is the number 7 doing? Got to get tight on him there. Can't be relying on the right back to do your job. And then everyone switches off. And Zwolle go ahead against the run of play. That's their first shot on target. Not good. Eggy gets away from his man into Pereiro. Now De Jong back into Pereiro. He'll hit one. Oh, it's a good save. Clawed away. And Big Rog is on now. We needed that. De Jong's simply not looked good enough. Oh, and the header comes in. It's off the line. Angelino back into Eggy. Hits it on the volley. It's pushed back into the box again, but they get it away. That would have been a, I think, on-target shot at least. And the defender not got in there. We could be easily hit on the break here now. And that is well over hit. Thank God. Right, Eggy. Bit of space now. Can he drive this team forward with Big Rog ahead of him? Got space to run into here. Can Big Rog make the intelligent run? That's not a bad one. It's not a bad hit either. Just puts it over the bar. Intelligent movement there from Big Rog. Not good enough finishing. And we're really struggling here. We need to get the point at least. 10 minutes left. And heads out. Eggy's still closing down though. This could be Eggy off here. Yes, it is. Ramselaar comes on. Well, you've got to say Eggy had a pretty good game. But as a team, PSV have been awful. Can we steal a late goal here to rescue the point? Doesn't look like it. I know we can't. And that is a very poor result. On the road or not, a 1-0 loss to Zwolle just isn't good enough. And as you can see, they only had the 1 shot on target. Interested to see Eggy's review today. A 5. That is poor. How is that so bad? Really poor. I don't know. Maybe not tracking back enough. Only missed 4 passes. Managed a shot. A couple of near assists as well. But to get a 5, that's really not going to help us. That's by far and away our lowest rating of the season so far. That is really going to hurt us. I think that'll probably see us on the bench. Maybe out of the squad completely for the next game. Be interesting to see what happens. So that is not going to look pretty in the league. No, it does not. But then Ajax also on 4 points. Both of us now 6 points behind the leaders, AZ. Still, plenty of football to go. But we can only say that's for so long. 34% manager trust and down to 6.5 average rating. The hype train has been temporarily halted. There's some leaves on the track. We just need to get back into our stride from the first 2 games. Be interesting to see whether we are even on the bench for this game. I expect not. We are on the bench. Okay. See if we can come on and make an impact in this second game against Excelsior. Where are they in the league at the moment? They are 9th. They've only lost 1 this season so far. Couple of draws. It's a pretty fixture-heavy time at the moment. Another game in 3 days. See how we get on. So Mara Jr. starts today. Almost a completely different looking side here. Petriak on the left. Not seen anything of him. He looks pretty poor. Big Maxi up front. What will we see from him today? Lozano, Eggy, Martinez, Rusnak, Ramselaar on the bench. It's a heavy bench. Not a heavy defensive bench. Not a single defender there in the substitutes, but still. Excelsior, some 60 rated, 66 rated centre-back, 67 rated goalkeeper. There's not a lot of talent in this side. It's another team we should be beating, but we said that about Zwolle. Right, let's get into it. So I do promise we'll get into some more research, some more information about Eindhoven, but I think we can safely say that it's going to be a place that Eggy fits in very well. There's big immigrant populations, Turks, Moroccans, Pakistanis, and a large Indonesian population as well. Absolutely great place to be a Muslim, as far as I can see. Lots of halal food available, and for Eggy, lots of Indonesian restaurants and mosques and everything that he needs. So I'm sure that part of his settling will be fine. Can he adapt to the faster pace and the physicality of the Dutch league? Well, it seemed to be doing okay until the last game. Let's see how he gets on today, if he gets any minutes off the bench. And it is Excelsior who get the first goal here, and that is no good at all. It's a great free kick, obviously. Goalkeeper quite handily beaten there with a perfectly placed curling effort. But once again, PSV's woes continue. Oh, and we're back into it, and it is big Maxi Romero. Absolute legend. And the Argentinian with a much-needed goal for PSV. Been very much out of the goals. But our man, Maxi, certainly knows how to get back in them. And that is a very Maxi Romero-like finish. And, well, we're back into it. And it's half-time here in Rotterdam, and it's 1-1. PSV have certainly stepped up a level. They had all the possession, still only able to create one chance from it, but thankfully Maxi Romero was able to take it. Will Eggy get a chance in the second half to try and influence the game? I think with a few minutes we can really run our hearts out. Hopefully, again, get ourselves back in front of the manager, showing what we can do. Come on then, Eggy. Let's have a go. Well, we're not on at half-time, but that's to be expected, although, slightly worryingly, Ramselaar has come off for Maro Jr., so that is already a change in the attacking midfield position as Maxi Romero nearly slides in. So not 100% confident we'll get a go today. So 71 minutes have come and gone. Doesn't look like he's going to get a run out today. He's gone with Maro Jr. instead. Lozano is on now as well. So almost, oh no, that is it. No more substitutes today. Big Rog comes on for Angelino. Could Ramselaar win it? Oh, he can. That is a great goal. We really needed that. And although Eggy can only watch from the bench and celebrate with his teammates, and I suppose be a little bit annoyed that it is one of his competing attacking midfielders who finished it off. The 3 points is more important. The team is more important. And, well, we snuck in there. It's Maxi Romero with the assist. Ramselaar, once he got ahead of his man, only had one thing in his mind, and it was always going to be scoring that vital goal. Can we hang on here? Oh, and Maxi Romero finishes the job in style as he grabs his brace with a very well taken finish. Ball came into him short. Lovely turn away from his man here. And then composed to push it past the keeper. That should see us, with the 3 points today, a massively needed win. And that is what happens if you start Maxi Romero instead of De Jong, who was more like De Jonky in the last game. And unfortunately, Eggy not getting any minutes today, but that'll happen. It's a big squad. There will be a lot of rotation. There's plenty of games to play. Plenty of games for Eggy to feature in. And today was a dominant one. Unlucky not to get a run out. Ramselaar, Lozano and Martinez who went on ahead of him. I mean, that is a very strong 3 substitutes to make. There's no doubt about it. We'll get our chances. We will. We've got to believe. So much better. We climb up to 8th. Ajax winning as well. Let's keep moving. So we're back into the Champions League, and once again, Eggy will only start on the bench against Club Brugge. We do have one thing we need to go and do now, which is reassign our training points. We've learnt one-touch pass. Tricky. Our stamina's pretty good now. We can last a full game if we have to. Give it one more on there, though. Go with speed, and we're going to go... We're going to go with speed. I think we just max it out. Let's make Eggy uncatchable. Right, let's see how everyone's looking. How's Eggy looking on the bench? He's on an upward arrow. That's positive. Ramselaar starts ahead of him after scoring in the last game. Hopefully we get a run out today. Unfortunately, it is De Jong up front again. No place for Romero or Big Rog. Up against the Club Brugge side, who we know well. Played against them many, many times at Waasland Beveren. They're a good team. They certainly are. But I think the difference in quality between the two leagues should be on show today. So I didn't know this, but PSV have actually won a European Cup. Not the Champions League, technically, because it was in 1988. But they did beat Benfica 6-5 on penalties after a goalless draw to take home what was then the European Cup. So they've got a bit of a pedigree. They've been there before at the very highest level. Obviously winning the Champions League this season may well be out of reach. May well be out of reach for them every season. But all they can do is try. And they've got off to a decent start. Draw against Real Madrid. Can they now go on and beat the side that maybe they would feel they've got the best chance of beating in this group? Let's get into it. Oh dear. And our trend of going behind early continues as Vossen puts Club Brugge up. And then goes with the frankly disrespectful golf celebration. I would be giving him a double leg reducer after that sort of antic. And we've been caught out. There's a good ball over the top. Low ball in. Number 31. Not a hint of marking on him. Got to come from behind again. Not ideal. Oh, that's a lovely goal to draw things level. And it is Donkey Kong. No, okay. Donkey Kong country. No, okay, that's harsh. That was well taken. And this was a very well worked goal. Nice ball in there. Ramselaar plays it back. Lovely ball over the top. First time, oh no, second time, ball inside, and then De Jong off the crossbar, giving the keeper much of a chance. Unfortunately, that probably means that Eggy won't get a chance in this second half, or certainly not at half time. But again, it's all about the team, and when we get the chances, taking them, but a bit harsh. And that's half time here at the Philips Stadium in Eindhoven, and yeah, we went behind early again. Seems to be becoming a bit of a trend. Luckily, De Jong struck us back into this one. Unfortunately for Eggy, probably means we won't get on at half time. Will we get a run out at all where we are on good form? We're nice and rested, obviously, after not playing at all in the last game. You would hope we'd get a few minutes. Really, really hope so. So we will get a run out. This is a nice bit of timing as well. I think we're not quite at the hour mark. Ramselaar taken off. Eggy is on. Maxi Romero is also on the field. Can we influence the game today? It's back to Eggy now. He's going to look to take the shot on here. As he steps inside, gives it a good hit. It's a very, very strong effort. Takes a very strong arm to keep that one out. They all stood off him there. Don't know if they'd noticed he'd come on. Didn't quite decide who to close him down. I think he worked a great position. It's a good effort as well, and lucky. Eggy foot on it, then puts a good ball in, and Maxi Romero finishes brilliantly. Eggy knew exactly where that was going. As soon as he got it to feet, he knew where Romero would be, the deadliest striker of all the deadly strikers. And I don't know why you're polishing his boot, mate, because that was not the man who whipped in that incredible cross. It was Eggy, out of his feet, didn't even need to look up, he knew exactly where to put it, but that is some finish on the weaker foot. The Argentinian youngster in the goals again. And that is a sublime cross from Eggy Milana. And a great finish, and we're up here. We needed the assist, we needed to make an impact coming on, and we certainly have. Throw comes in, Romero's there, and he finishes it off very, very well. And that should be this game done here. And Maxi Romero, how could you not start Maxi Romero with the form that he's in? This was nicely worked, and another comprehensive finish from him. Good header into Eggy, and he can bring it forward now. No massive options. He can push it wide. Lozano get there, he just about does. Angelino, ball into Eggy. Will back heel into Romero. Eggy will turn, receives it back again. Turns on a sixpence, pushes it out wide. Again to the Archbishop. Lovely ball into Eggy here. Turns for the low pass into Romero, and that's 2 assists. And that is the match ball there for Maxi Romero. But Eggy, again, massively involved. And now they can celebrate together in the corner. Is there an interesting one? Nope. Maxi's just going to inappropriately touch the corner flag there. And then everyone on. Where's Eggy? Where's Eggy? I don't know. But Maxi Romero needs to be paying tribute to the young Indonesian, who was very involved in that attack. Angelino, a lovely low ball into him. Once again, he knew exactly where the striker was going to be. That's another great bit of finishing, and 2 assists for Eggy, adding to the one he's already got. Starting to stack up here, the creative playmaker. That's exactly what we want. Oh, Vossen gets the better of Angelino. Good effort there. Could fall to Wesley. We get it away. Vossen with another go, and they will get a consolation goal here, but it will only be a consolation goal for Club Brugge. Still got that 2-goal advantage thanks to Maxi Romero's heroics. This game almost over here. Would have been nice to get Eggy a goal to round off his 2 assists, but we've got to be happy with the performance. Well, there we are. 3 goals, yes, for Maxi Romero after De Jong opened the scoring. It came from a goal behind as well. Should have been 4-1, but we'll take 4-2. And Eggy again. Well, he's got to be making a pretty good argument to his manager. Every time he plays, bar one, he makes an impact. And coming on and getting 2 assists just to seal this game. Exactly what the manager would have wanted from him. Impact off the bench. I mean, what more can you ask for from your substitutes? And you would hope a pretty good average rating here. A 6.5, a little bit tight for 2 assists, but we'll take it. Certainly take it. Ramselaar went off with a 5.5, so that's ideal for us. So we're back to winning ways, and that should see us, wow, top of the group. Nice. And that takes Eggy's assist record to 3 in 4 appearances. This is a little bit lopsided. Obviously, Waslan Beveren is very much relied upon for his goals. But now, playing with such quality, assists can also be a large part of his game, whereas with some of the dross we were playing with at Waslan Beveren, that wasn't always possible. And Team of the Month, we don't sneak in, but you've got to say there was an argument for having Eggy in there. Will we be playing in the next game? We're in the starting lineup. Ooh, interesting. Well, I'm afraid we're going to have to leave that to the next episode. That should be exciting. Can Eggy continue his good form? I think he's looked great. I think he's doing a really damn good job of playing his way into this side. This one's in the league, and then we go up against them again in the cup. And then we've got Schalke in the Champions League. Another big episode coming on Monday. Join me for that one. I'll see you in a bit.